And I hope the memories that we've made together are something you take with you when you leave. Because I will always remember all those hugs. They were always from, like, oh, because you're so tall. And then there would be the hug. I knew it was Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. Jordan Castillo. Jordan is escorted tonight by Clayton Seabaugh. Jordan has been in choir for 3 years. And I remember the solo that she tried out on, I think it was from Schubert's Mass, the Gloria, and I thought it was kind of outside her box. But when she started singing, she was the right person for that, and I was so proud of her for stepping up for that. That you kind of surprised me when you wanted to audition for that. She did a fantastic job. Anthony Miller. Anthony is escorted by Alicia Luttrell Johnson. Anthony's been in choir for 4 years. 3 of those years, it's been me and him. A couple years in men's choir. Wasn't sure if he liked me in those years. But look at that smile right there. We made it, didn't we, Anthony? Things are so much different. Anthony came into concert choir this year, sang tenor for a little while, and then I promised him if he make it to tenor through Christmas, I'd let him switch to bass. And he's been singing ever since. Our next senior is Drew Caston. Drew is escorted tonight by Devin Tiemann. Drew has been in choir for 4 years. You all saw her sing tonight. Do you see her face? Do you see how much passion she has in that when she sings? I remember looking at her last year when she was singing that solo, and I was like, I really hadn't seen that in you until you just let loose last year. And then you told me you weren't going to be in choir because you couldn't. But the first day of school, you and I talked a little bit, and you said that you thought maybe you might miss it some too. And I'm so glad you picked it, because we got to go to state this year and a whole new element of what you've been doing. Thank you so much, Drew, for singing. Just for singing. Maddie Baker. Escorted tonight by Dean Scheller. Maddie's been in choir for 4 years. She has the most pleasant, most contagious smile. She makes everything better just when she smiles at you. I remember last year, my normal crazy, kind of like tonight, I was throwing food in my mouth while I was making programs, and I don't usually always eat. But Maddie brought me, for Central Jazz, she brought me supper both nights because she knew I was crazy. She's always taking care of me. Everybody needs somebody. I think it's hard tonight, sorry. Grace Cook. Is escorted by Rusty Sandoval. Grace has been in choir for 3 years. I call her Grace my Grace. I've known Grace since she was little. We did the camping thing. We did the herb thing. She was right in between my 2 girls. I even thought they kind of looked alike with their black eyes. I remember the summer before I started teaching, her dad, Daniel, asked if Grace could be in choir. And when school started, she was there. And she did try it for solo that year. That was kind of like out of her box to try out for those solos. But she did it again this year. And she did a great job tonight. You've grown so much. Thank you for sharing those memories. Maggie Boxdorfer is escorted tonight by Hiram Dixon. Maggie's been in choir for 3 years. This was our first year to get to travel the state and have that kind of fun. I've always loved how easy it is for you to sing. I'm not a singer, I'm not a performer, I'm a teacher. But the ease with which you sing and how it's just part of who you are, I've always admired that about you. I listen to you sing jazz and pop stuff, and it's amazing. But listening to you sing that Debussy, the French piece this year, was equally as amazing. And how you took it and embraced it and worked on it. I'm very proud of that accomplishment you had for state. Zoe Fields. She's escorted tonight by Tyler Helm. She's been in choir for 4 years. And this girl can sing too, I'm telling you. She's worked really hard at lots of musical things. She plays flute as well. She took both of those things to state this year. I think she's going to pursue a career with her music. I always knew you had it in you. First time I heard you sing with that big, round, warm voice, it was awesome. Thank you for letting me help you. Not much, but your voice is way better than anything I can do for you. Leanne Elpers. Escorted tonight by T.K. Babers. She has been in choir for 4 years. And I was making jokes tonight again about telling stories. Sophomore year, she would stay for practice after school, and I would get to telling something, and she'd be like, my parents are waiting. But she would let me tell one more. She was always really good and embraced my stories. She has such a love for music too. She works really hard. Your solo Summertime is touching me right here. I just love to hear you sing. I love your love for music. And I hope you keep loving it like you do. Brittany Coons. She's escorted tonight by her brother, Dylan Coons. She's been in choir 4 years. She's my legs. She runs, anything I ask her to do, she helps every choir. She'll do it in a pinch. She'll text me and say, I got this done. And I know she thought I would forget her because when I practiced, I did. But Brittany, I'm never going to forget you, baby. Not in 1,000 years. I'm never going to forget you. But we all know I won't live that long because I tell you all the time I'm going to die because you're wonderful and I'm done. I want you to always be proud of yourself. I want you to value who you are and your talent and value everything that every other thing. Will Sellers. Escorted tonight by Adriana Eggson. Will has been in choir for 4 years. Will, you and that tenor voice. Even when you auditioned this year, the judges in the room, as soon as you popped up those notes, they were like, oh, like, where has he been? I'm like, he's always been right here. With Will, it's always, yes ma'am, got this. You all right, Miss Davis? We got this. You're always kind of checking on me. God blesses me to have people check on me. He was also part of that first Great Value. You saw the quartet tonight that did My Girl. You should have seen them 3 years ago when they were doing their quartet. Never mattered what I asked him to sing, if it was high in the ledger lines or down in the baritone part. Will's like, I got it. No part was ever too hard. Stepping up into that leadership role, being the only senior tenor for a while until Cordell came in. I appreciate the last 3 years being there for me. Oh, Darian Morris, escorted tonight by Catherine Davis. Oh, Darian has been in choir for 4 years. He's my spiritual leader. He worries about me too. That first year, on days that I didn't know anybody was really paying attention, Odie was. He would bring me scripture that seemed to fit the day, seemed to fit that I was in a new job and I had lots of people, lots of students to learn the names of. And then I had to follow Mr. Cox, who was a bundle of energy, and I'm just an old woman. But he brought me those scriptures and they seem to fit every day. I still have them in my feel-good file. So on those days that maybe I'm not feeling so good, I'll pull them out and I'll look at them. We would always start the beginning of every school year with those messages. And I'm going to miss those messages because they meant a lot to me. And for everyone. Even if you beat Joviana there, or if you beat Mia in there, you always manage to get those hugs in. Carson Redder, escorted tonight by A.J. Branson. Carson's been in choir for 4 years. Probably my first impression of Carson was, you just got here. You can't leave. And I've carried that in my heart ever since that day, because I thought, oh, maybe they'll find a way to love me too. The second memory with Carson happened this year. It was when I was keeping a tally of how many hugs I would get during a month. I'm very big on hugs. I don't think you can have too many in a day. I don't know if that's because I taught elementary and little kids coming off the bus and needed a hug. That's just what we did. And I was telling the hugs, because this is a huggy bunch, and I love that about my whole group. But Carson asked me what they were, and I told him. I hadn't told anyone else. And he steps over and he gives me another hug, and he said, add another one to it. And I think I averaged about 7 or 8 a day. But that day I got an extra one. Carson, you're so, I mean, you're like, you do the sports, you do the leadership, you do the song, and you find time for everything. And you're always coming up with different ideas about things, just like us wearing the different club shirts when we went to the junior highs. I thought, wow, that's a kid that's thinking there. I appreciate you helping me, because you help make all the difference for me being here. Jake White. Escorted tonight by Shelby Norder. Jake's been in choir for 3 years. All the stories, Jake, I mean the whole 3 years, what? Flipping nuts, right? Flipping nuts. We made lots of memories this year and last year and the first year, because he sang tenor his first year. He tried. He tried. He could sing tenor. He could sing soprano. You heard him. You heard that note at the end of that performance. And the hours that we spent on that All-State piece. I don't even remember. We would have the projector down. We'd be stomping. We'd be clapping. I know people walk by the room like, what are they doing in there? Because it really didn't even have a rhythm. I don't know if you all have been fortunate enough to see him do some magic. He freaked me out that first year when he put a card under my foot, and when I picked up the card, it wasn't the card I put under there. But now I'm just a fan. I'm a groupie. When he starts magic, I'm like, hey, I brought cards. I always buy my own cards just so we can do magic, so then I know they're not trick cards that way. I'm gonna miss all those times you're gonna have to come out and do some magic tricks. But I'm also gonna miss the magic that you have in your music. And I hope you continue to share that. I hope you all do. As you all stand here in front of me, I know that each breath, every year of my life, every influence, everything has brought me closer to being with you guys. And I know I said this last night, it's true. You guys are part of a dream that I had. By you being here, you fulfill my dream. All of you do. All of you do, because this is where I'm meant to be. And OD always helped me feel that way. God placed me here. That God placed me here. And I want you to know that I love all of you. And seniors, I love you. You were here that first year. And I wish every one of you the best in whatever you choose to do in life. But always come back home, visit every once in a while. Love you guys. Before we close tonight, we would like to sing one more song for you.